And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the final series of the broadcast. Welcome back to the final qualifying match, a best of 5 here for the Fusion Esports League Cracov 2025 Polish Championship. Again, this is going to be a big event happening for the Polish scene, and we have a bunch of invites. We have Art, we have Geralt, we have Christianer, we have Mana, we have Spirit and Laser, and we also have joining them Papi. Papi does make it through the upper brackets. Now we're here to determine the final player to join all said players in that main event. Let's go, let us jump on in. Spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Ley Lines, we have our purple Protoss player from land of Hungary representing himself, currently teamless. It is Nihed. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the Polish Zerg player, we have the blue Zerg. It is a Trifax. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into this final best of 5. Not a best of 3, not a best of 1, but a best of 5 qualifying match. It'll end here. It'll end now in this series, in this best of. Let's go. Let us go. Again, our players, they did need a moment to get a break to catch their breath before the final series. It was an intense back and forth between Nihed alongside Angry. Now, this is a rematch. This is a rematch. For those that remember, this is a rematch from earlier in the broadcast, from earlier in the upper half of the bracket, where we had both Trifax and Nihed faced off in a best of 3, which did actually go the way of Trifax. But it was a very intense series. It was very intense, and I said it before, I'll say it again. Every game, Trifax fell behind. Every game, Trifax, he fell behind in the early game and early to mid game as well, but he was able to, in the mid game and in the mid to late game, he was able to recover. He was able to bounce back. He was able to harass. He was able to find damage. Somehow, some way, he would get into mineral lines. He would roast up some probes, and he would pull apart Nihed. He would pull his opponent apart successfully. So it was impressive. It was definitely impressive. But I can 100% see a world where if Nihed does tighten up his defenses, if he tightens up his play, his more turtle play even, I can see him thriving. I can see him thriving and I can see him excelling. I can see him popping off. But now though, we're taking a breath, we're calming down. And again, we do expect standard openers here, like Stargate opener into a third base, into plus on the Blink Stalkers. Don't really expect too much deviation out of Nihed. Meanwhile, Trifax across the map going for his own third. Going for his own hatch gas pull into a third base, into a standard setup early on. We saw a lot of roach play out of Trifax in the previous series, but that's only because we saw such heavy charge play out of Papi. Very stylistic from Papi. We should not be seeing that from Nihed. We should be seeing Stalker-based play instead, which means we should be seeing more Lingbane Hydra instead of Roach Ravager out of Trifax. As now there's a Stargate, it's Oracle as you did expect, as I mentioned. So standard opener here out of Nihed. That upside do threaten a shade. They didn't quite commit. And no commitment here from Nihed, just poking in, takes down a tumor. Pulls away, and it's going to be on Trifax to try to chase him down. Link speed finishing up in a couple of seconds, but shade will complete and will shade away. Does shade away, looking to try to defend at the third. Oracle's in position. Links, they go for the dive, but the Oracle is here, and the Oracle will defend. The Oracle does deflect. Trifax does pull out of gas. Droning on up. Spores are on the way. Queen's getting in position. Links, they once again poked in. And this is not just keeping the Adepts busy, it's also keeping the Oracle busy as well. Delaying the push, delaying the Oracle harass. Twilight Council's on the way for Nihed. Ooh, this is an earlier Twilight Council. Now, what's important about this is that in the previous series, we didn't really see too much deviation out of our Protoss player. This time we do. Like, this is an earlier Council, this is an earlier Forge, this is much earlier tech, which means there's a high chance this might actually be Charge and not Blink. But we'll see. I mean, it could still just be Blink and +1. This could just be a hero variation where you just go for it early on, even if it's inefficient. So we'll keep an eye on Nihed. The Oracle takes a lot of hits. And remember, look at the worker damage. One drone. Only one drone has gone down. There it is. So +1 on Blink is going to be on the way. Again, this is earlier than normal, and you can see that, yeah, it's okay, this is earlier than normal. We'll see if we can try to make use of that earlier timing in any way. Otherwise, it could just be a little bit earlier just to be secure, just to get it up and running. Eva Chamber out of Trifax. As we mentioned before, if you recall, we spoke about how there's less of a chance that Trifax is going to play Roaches against Nihed because of his standard play, and we're seeing it here. There should be pulse on melee into Ling Hydra. Trifax is looking to skip Roaches. Looking to skip Roaches, looking to skip Tech. Overlord is hunted down. The Overlord does fail to scout as the Tech was actually in the natural and on the main. So Trifax is a little bit in the dark. As a result, going for +1 range, not melee. Interesting. And going for the... Yeah, he doesn't know. Going for the Roach one, he is not aware as to what's happening. He did miss the scout.
They're attacking our creep tumors.
So again, Trifax, he's playing it safe because he's unaware. He's unaware as to what's going on. Oh, rushing into an infestation pit. Interesting. Now, if he believed this was going to be a charge-based opener and even Archon-based opener, something like Swarmhost would be very much so viable. Against Blink Stalkers, I'm not too fond of Swarmhost play, just because Blink Stalkers do a much better job at punishing Swarmhost. The other option here is to rush into a Hive and to rush into Lurkers, but we'll see. Without a Hydrogen, I'm leaning more towards Swarmhost play, which again, I'm not too in love with. Oracles do rotate. Yep, there it is. Swarmhost are on the way. As we mentioned, like, early Infestation Pit does scream Swarmhost, but again, I do think this might be a bit of a misread. Now, the reason why Swarmhost can struggle against Blink Stalkers is that because Blink Stalkers are so much more mobile, they can chase and hunt down Swarmhost that much better, that much more efficiently. So it is risky to be active with Swarmhost and with Nihed Storms as well, just because of how active Stalkers are. We'll see if we can get away with it. Just because it's difficult to pull this off against Blink Stalkers doesn't mean it's impossible. And Storm is on the way. Swarmhosts are building up. They're loading into the Nidus. It's going to be 11 Swarmhosts. And there's the Nidus. Nidus across the map. Locust straight towards the natural. Oh, we could even try to sign +2. Yeah, I mean, the tech is exposed. That wouldn't be too bad. Stalkers moving out. That's the other dangerous thing here, is the Stalkers, they counterattack that much faster as well. And the Locust will not be at home to defend. Oh boy, here comes a Nihed. The Locust Wave comes in and does head for the mineral line, does head for the expansion actually. But across the map, what is the defense looking like? We have 7 Roaches. That's not enough. This middle line is going to go down. The base is going to go down. We do see Trifax trying to respond. Does take down the expansion. Does depower all the production. Oh, I say all of it. Does depower the tech. Does lay charge. But +2 will complete. Stormers are getting ready. They still need more time. Meanwhile, there are 6 High Templar. Here comes the first Locust Wave. Baiting out some stasis traps. Not bad. Base out of Storm as well. There's still 1 stasis trap. Still 1 trap left. Another one about to go off. Ooh, does connect. And speaking of another one, does not quite connect here towards the end. It does graze the army. Locust Waves, they're forcing out Storms. Oof. Storm even on the Stalkers. And Trifax is holding. Trifax, he's holding. Oh god, he's holding on. He's surviving. Where that Nihed is forced back. Forced back up, forced to rotate. My Storm is ready. And so far this is working out well. Again, there was an opportunity to punish this, but alas, not quite able to. Plenty of Roaches, they tank the Storms. High Templar forced to morph into Archons. And Trifax, he shuts us down. He completely shuts us down, takes down the Archons. Locust Waves are coming in, takes down another expansion. Nihed is struggling, is contained here on 3 bases. And again, I spoke earlier that the strength of Blink Stalkers is to chase down and to shut down these Swarm Hosts, to shut down the Nihed Swarms as well. But again, there's nothing at home to defend. They've been popping off, taking down base after base. Trifax is all over this. He was in danger when it came to the first counterattack, but he made it. He did survive it. Now he's thriving. Uh oh, the wall is open. It was open. As they break through that front door. Storm does shut down the Zerglings. The Locust Wave is moving in. Oh god, another Storm with the Roaches. The Locusts are zoning away, they get a High Templar. They force out an Archon. At the same time, Blink was just used. Yeah, brutal Blink here in the Locusts, they punish the Stalkers. Yeah, better trades here from Trifax. They'll run back across the map. Those run into Hydras. We're switching into Lurker Tech. Hive is done. Lurker production on the way. Lurker upgrades as well. We're getting there. Yeah, Trifax is taking up. There's a cancellation. That's just containing Nihed. Nihed, he will shut down the Swarmers. Sorry, the Nihed Swarm, I should say. Takes down the Overseer, takes down the Nihed Swarm. Trifax pushing right down mid. He doesn't really have many lurkers. He has 4. Only 4 lurkers. But that may still be enough. Oh, even catching out the Oracles. Both Oracles go down. 0 detection. Lurkers are not threatening anything, but again, there is no detection. Main army rotates. Locust Wave is moving in. So the Swarm Host. Getting on top of the high grounds. Storms, the Panic Storms here on top of the Locusts. But they do land. They land, they shut down the High Templar. Brutal fight. And Trifax, he's done it. He has done it. He overwhelms. He breaks through that defensive line. Gets on top of the Archons. GG gets called, and Trifax takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Does take game 1, does take a lead in the series. Again, a bit of a more unusual style here to go for Swarm Host. As we mentioned before, it does typically excel against Archon openers or against charge-based openers. Against Stalkers, they can struggle, but we saw that even though, Nihed, he made his choice, right? Instead of being defensive, he attacked. He was being reactive, and in doing so, he lost his natural and he lost his 4th base. He lost 2 expansions while trying to counterattack and punish the Swarm Host. In the end, it wasn't worth it. He did kill a base, but he lost 2, right? So he killed 1 hatchery, but he lost 2 Nexi, and with that, he fell behind. He lost map control, he did not do enough damage with his counterattack, and everything just snowballed out of control. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're now getting into our next game. Getting into game number 2, going to be on Tokamak. Here we go. As we're getting into let's get into the next game. So there we go, we're getting into the next game. We're going to be loading into Tokamak here for game number 2. I almost loaded in as the player. I was like, get me out of here, papi. It's not me you want to kill. Por favor. Not like this. It's all good. As we're getting into our next game and spawning in the right-hand corner here of Tokamak, we have... Oh, as we have switched places. We have the Hungarian Protoss player. We have the purple Protoss down in the series. We'll see if you can bounce back, and we'll see if you can make a series out of this. It is Nihed. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player. We have the Polish Zerg. leading the series 1-0. And we'll see if we can extend that lead and take that one step further to qualifying for the main event. It is Trifax. We go. I was not aware that Light still streams. Another long day. What do you mean? What do you... We're live every day. Sloran. SMH. There was that one day though, it's true. There was one day this week where we weren't able to stream. Do apologize. We missed out on the Water TV Monday and we missed out on Pegasus Cup. So do apologize. Smurge, man. Smurge. But it's okay, we're back on that horse. Unless you're referring to my personal streams, which is true, it's been like 2 weeks, I think. I think it's been like 2 weeks since my last stream, but it's just we've been just so busy casting, so much StarCraft going on, as always. Hopefully I do find some time to stream next week, maybe. Our schedule's still quite jam-packed. But there should be some... we should be able to cast maybe one day, maybe. Sorry, I should say we should be able to stream maybe one day. Next week. On Thursday, it looks like. Thursday we might be a little bit free to stream on our personal channels. Yeah. One day we'll ladder again. One day. But yes, fun fact, this week we had our first day off since March. We've at this point I think we've had 2 days off this year. We had 1 day off in March and 1 day off this month. And I believe both were unintentional. Like I believe in March, I think I went like a day without internet or something. I think something like that happened where like I had I had like no internet, so I had like so I had to like call up my ISP and fix things up. And it meant that there was 1 day that I could not cast StarCraft. I was very frustrated and very annoyed. That was back in March, and then here in July as well. So far, 2 days in 2025 where we haven't casted StarCraft. Smurge. We've fallen off, back. We've fallen off. Unacceptable. We'll make up for it. We'll make up for it. Before March, it was December 25th. It was Christmas Day. That was the 1 day off that we had at the end of 2024. So Christmas Day, a day in March, and a day in July. Those are the 3 days off we've had. As for now, we do have our standard openers. It is going to be Gates Expand into Cybercore. We have a Tech of Choice Stargate opener here out of Nihed. Once again, going for the early Twilight Council. I would imagine into an early Forge, into the same build, into +1 and Blink. Oh, that's not a Forge. That's not a Forge at all. Okay, early Twilight Council into Gateways. This screams Glaive Adepts. This screams Stargate opener into Glaives. A lot of gateways are on the way. Oh my Jesus, a massive gateway explosion actually. Show us those Glaives, show us the Adepts. Meanwhile, across the map, we do see Trifax just happily droning. He has yet to confirm. He does have an Overlord here on the right-hand side, but he has yet to figure out what exactly is happening. He's in the dark. He's unaware. And yep, as we mentioned, Glaive Adepts. Again, seeing this many gateways, seeing the early Twilight Council, seeing lack of Forge, screams Glaive Adepts. But Trifax has to confirm. He does turn on the Safety Roachhorn. Okay, Safety Roachhorn here out of Trifax. So he will have the tools to defend, but he has to scout first. He has to know what he has to make. He has to be made aware to actually cut workers and make roaches. Otherwise, he's going to be caught with his pants down. Like we've seen many Glaive Adept builds that just catch direct players and shut them down. Even Serral dies to Glaive Adepts. As we've seen a hero adept Serral many a time. Cancels? Wait, what just happened? We got a delayed forge. We cancel glaives. We're going into blink. Nihed, he changes his mind. What did he see? He saw the roach warren, and that may have been enough to deter him. Oh, so Nihed, he does change his mind. So he cancels, which means he's going into late +1. Because of all these gateways as well, it means that, I mean, that eats into his own 4th base, into his own economy. Okay. So a rough moment here for Nihed, as he does switch gears. And meanwhile, Trifax is going into the Spire, going into Mutaplay. Nihed is clearing up creep, but yeah, Mutas, they're coming. Time for 4 tournaments every day. True, true. We have to make up for it. Nah, no. Here we go. As we do see Nihed building up, getting his 4th base. Again, lack of scouting. He has not checked the main base in quite some time. He has no idea what's going on. Stalkers are poking, but this is not a dedicated push. We're rushing into a fleet beacon. Working towards Sky Toss. Again, this is only to poke out. He has no intention to actually break a base. Which means Trifax will get away with the Mutas. He will get away with it. He does spot him. Oh, he is spotted. Nice scouting here from... Very nice scouting out of Nihed. That was a bit of miscontrol and mispathing out of Trifax. He should not have revealed him so soon. And cannons are on the way. More Mutas going down. What was going to be a beautiful start here for Trifax, I mean, it's falling on its face. Again, you have to keep them hidden, and he's failed to do so. Yeah, the army warps in time. The Muta's doing no damage. But Trifax, he is taking out some Stalkers, not bad. Collapsing in the army, stasis goes up. Goes off, Mutas here into the bases, into the mineral lines. Catching out Stalkers. 1, 2, 3 Stalkers. But overall, these Mutas have not paid for themselves. They're at least keeping the main army busy. At the same time, Trifax going for a counterattack. Ooh, more Mutas going down. And we do warp in time. Yeah, Nihed is just all over this. He's all over Trifax. And Trifax is stuck on Lingbane Road Ravager. This is a very mid-tier army. Doesn't scale well. Oh, catching out a bunch of Stalkers. Does catch him out. Stage Trap does catch out the Banelings though. And Banelings getting caught. Muse's trying to dive on the Oracles. Trying as he... emphasis on trying, not quite able to. Down to 4 Mutas out of how many? He lost 7. 7 Mutas went down. Mothership has arrived. This game is looking worse and worse for Trifax. And here comes a massive Stalker army. How many? 30. Jesus. 30 Stalkers here for Nihed. Mutas at the 4th base. Stalkers do punish. They do punish the Zerglings. Again, here the soup does lie. Even though we do see that Trifax has a larger army, I'll say that Nihed has something more efficient. Oh, actually, in my mind, I just assumed that he had splash damage. The Temple Archive's only just now finished. So there are a lot of Blink Stalkers, and they do trade very nicely, that is true, but at the same time, he has no Storm. Yeah, Storm just now begins. Without Storm, this army can be okay, it can hold its own from the side of Trifax. Takes down the 4th. Pushing on forward. Nice slow zone. Very nice. Bailey's trying to move in. Oh, and Trifax, he commits. Trifax, he will lose everything here. This is not the fight to take. Yeah, we spoke about his army just doesn't scale well. He will lose everything here. He has to back off. He has to retreat. Now Trifax, he is able to rebuild. He has no Hydroden. He's working. He has a Hive. He's working towards Adrenal. He's still stuck on Lingro Ravager. Now, without Storm, he can keep trading. He can keep trying to pick off these High Templar, these Stalkers. Speaking of High Templar, they're looking a little bit more exposed. He wants them. Oof, Stasis goes off. Things are denied. And now he knows. Now he's aware of the High Templar. He's aware of Storm. He is made aware. If he can keep denying the 4th base, then he can get us over the economy. Storm is done. Gotta respect the storms. Yeah, Trifax has no detection. No detection. At the same time, Bailey's are rolling in. They roll into the mineral lines. Probes are gonna be going down. Nice connections, 11 probe kills. 11 workers full. There's gonna be 6 High Templar. It's a little storm. Little storms are moving in. Oof. Does waste some storms though. He has to be careful. He's down to, I want to say, 1 storm. He has another. He has another storm. That was the final storm. Not the best connections. Bailey's a crash in. And it's so close here, but Nihed is running out of steam. A massive link run by. He takes down 39 probes. 39 workers go down. And Trifax, he's done it. He cripples the economy across the map. He barely defends back at home. That's it. Nihed done it. Has done it. Trifax, I should say. Trifax, he's done it. He gets 40 probe kills across the map. He defends back at home. Like, Trifax is all over this. I do apologize for saying the wrong name. It is 6 a.m. here in the morning. So I'm running on fumes, Pappy. I'm running on fumes. Up, mix around. Takes down the Archons. Yeah, the Archons are falling. The base is low, even just collapsing on the army. What does he go for? GG gets called. He can go for anything, and Trifax will take the 2-0 lead in the series. GG. Whew, GG, well played. A solid lead so far here out of Trifax. Again, when it came to that game, we saw that Nihed, I want to say he had a stronger start. Remember, the mutas didn't do anything. The mutas, they did not pay for themselves. Like, the mutas were completely shut down, and we saw that Nihed was able to build up a high stalker count. But something that I didn't notice until we saw the Templar Archives was how late any splash damage was. Whether it was Storm, whether it was Disruptors, whether it was Colossus, or mainly Storm and Colossus, it was heavily delayed. Later than it should have been, later than it needed to be. So because of that, we saw that the Lingro Ravager army was actually holding its own for a time there. It was able to hold its own, able to trade with the Stalkers. More importantly, was able to deny the 4th base for as long as possible. And we saw that Nihed, it was almost like the Nihed versus Angry series, where Nihed just could not maintain his losses and could not keep up economically. GG. GG well played with that Trifax 62-2-0 lead. Now we're jumping into game numero 3. Game number 3 here. Let's go. Let us go. So we're getting into that final game. And we'll see how this story ends. I saw someone asking in the chat, is there anywhere on the schedule that says the player signed up looking for Hero and Beyond action? That's a bit of an awkward thing to look for, in the sense that players often sign up at the last second, so you can look for brackets for tournaments ahead of time. But if you're referring to like open brackets or open tournaments, so like the Woody TV Monday or Korean StarCraft League or Pigasor Cup, that isn't really, seeing the bracket ahead of time isn't really indicative of who's going to play. Like, you don't really know until the tournament starts, right? You don't really know until the tournament starts. Then when it does, then you know who signed up, who showed up, and who checked in. Otherwise, like, you don't really get a better feel for that. This weekend is going to be KSL, so assume that, you know, Korean players are going to be there. Assume that Hero is going to be there, Classic, Zaun, Cure, sometimes Beyond, sometimes Gumiho. It's typically a lot more Protoss dominated, but every now and then there's like some Terran, some Zerg representation. Maybe a Shin, maybe a Solar, maybe a Rogue. Again, you don't really know until the tournament starts. At least for the open sign-up tournaments. When it comes to like invitationals, I guess that's a little bit different. For like invitationals or tournaments where the players are set ahead of time. But here we go. We are getting into game number 3. Game número 3. As we are getting into potentially the final game of the series. Again, it's been an intense back and forth so far, but our player here, our Protoss player, he's up against the wall, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Maganatha. We have the Hungarian Protoss player, the purple Protoss, living in the land of Bologna. Down heavily in the series. We'll see if we can bounce back and make a series out of this. The pressure is on. It is Nihed. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Polish Zerg player. We have the red Zerg leading the series 2-0 and 1 game away from claiming the series. It is a Trifax. Here we go. And again, despite how solid Nihed's play was in regards to shutting down the mutas, in regards to maintaining map control for a time, unfortunately the splash damage was heavily delayed there, was almost an afterthought. Not just that, I mean, to be fair, winding it back, if you remember, it was also an awkward opener. Remember, it was initially meant to be Glaive Adepts. It was initially a gateway explosion into Glaive Adepts, and then he cancelled Glaives, started a Forge, started Blink instead, and did shift gears, and that also did slow down the build. It slowed down any aggressive potential as well. It was just a bit of an awkward start there for Nihed, and did stumble his way in. We're going for the he's crazy! He's going for the Cannon Rush. Gate into Forge, into Cannon Rush across the map. Now, because of the earlier gateway, I believe this is going to be a macro Cannon Rush out of Nihed, but a Cannon Rush nonetheless. Now, what do I mean by macro Cannon Rush? Well, this should be a Cannon Rush designed to... Actually, it should be designed to punish and designed to cancel the natural, and then he expands back at her. That should be the goal here. This is not an all-in. It's not an all-in. It is a macro Cannon Rush instead. But this is hitting late. Like, it's a bit of a later setup here. Hatchery is not cancelled. Spine Crawler is going to be on the way. Again, the cannons have not yet begun. And is one spine going to be enough is my question. Because here come 2 cannons. So Lings are amassing Queens as well. I mean, Lings, yeah, they're already nibbling away at the cannon itself. I mean, this is just how late this is. Oh, this is shut down. We just cancel the spine. This is completely shut down. This is just so late. And that is a brutal start. Oh god. Now remember, this is a macro cannon rush, so there is a base on the way, as you mentioned, but you want to at least get damage done. I mean, he forced the spine to finish, so he gets some value here, but we respond with a Bane Bust. Wow, Bane Bust here out of Trifax. A Bane Bust is really smart. Now, the reason why this can really work quite well is because of the build itself. The tech is late, or I should say, the Cyber Core is late. With a late Cyber Core, that means a late Stargate, late Robo, late Twilight Council, late Tech. It means that we have less to work with here. Lings, they collapse in. They just run past into the main. And there's nothing. There's just nothing. There's probes. There's probes, and you have to be careful to be surrounded. You have to be very careful here. Trifax in a whole position. Oh! Has to avoid the surround. The probes, they will kill these Lings. They will kill them. And Lings, they're distracting the Stalker. They have to pull away. Have to pull away. More Lings, they flood on forward. The wall is open. Yeah, the wall is wide open. More Lings are coming. Probes, they do fight. They do trade, and probes are going down. So if I get 5, 6, 7 probes go down. And we're getting ready for the bust. We're just amassing here. Baliness is done. The wall is solid. And Link speed is about to kick in. Here comes the Balian with us. And again, this is barely out of vision, barely out of range. Nihed, he sees nothing. Now behind this, Trifax is droning, but the goal here should be to break through the pylon and to either surround the Stalkers or ignore them and go into the main. But regardless, here comes the bust. Knocks down the front door. Oof. Brutal connection. Dusts around the Stalkers. Gets one. Takes down one Stalker. And then floods into the main. Then floods into the main base. These are enough Links to fight to hold their own. Ooh. Once again, nice probe drilling. Very nice. And behind this, Trifax, he's droning. He's droning up. He's saturating. More probes going to be going down. Once again, has to avoid the surround. Oh. Oh. And warp gate is complete, so we can warp in Unadept. Oh god, he takes the fight. He's gonna lose everything. The probes are falling one after the other. 16 probe kills. 7 to 20, 21 probes go down. That is game-ending damage. How many workers are left? 9. There's 9 probes remaining. And behind this, Trifax, remember, he's droning. He's droning, he's saturating. He's taking a third base. He can take gases. He can work on his lair. He's even overdrone, double expanding even, which is a little bit greedy here. Again, the gas count is still quite low, as he's now having a hard time taking control of his bases. He's getting there. He also scouted, he knows that there's no Stargate, right? There's nothing to really be concerned about. He can, of course, get safety spores, work towards that lair. The lair is probably going to be the big one, just to gain access to more tech. But there's nothing to threaten him. The reality here, there's nothing to be concerned about. There's no Oracles, no Dark Templar, there's no Warp Prism, there's no Adepts. Trifax is free to just, do what he wants. He can do as he pleases. There we go. Yeah, there it is. GG, congratulations! And Trifax will claim the series 3-0, qualifying for the Fusion Esports League Cracov 2025 Polish Championship. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Trifax. He will claim the win. He will qualify for the main Polish event. GG, well played. Again, an intense series, an intense qualifier here. Even a lot of these games, Nihed was holding his own. He wasn't quite able to bring down Trifax, but he was able to have some good showings here, some good games with good matches. Nonetheless, did make for an entertaining series. We didn't even catch up on the bracket itself here. Here we go from the top. We had Trifax initially take down Nihed. We had Bappy versus Trifax went all the way to the ace match. I mean, that could have gone either way. That was a very intense back and forth. Shout out to Bappy for making it through. Meanwhile, we even had Angry versus Nihed also going to the ace match as well. Some really close matches, really intense series. In the end, Trifax does claim the final qualifying match to make it through into the main event. GG, well played. When it comes to the main event itself, let's go over it. I was referring to it earlier, but of course now we can actually go into detail as to the event itself. Okay, from the top. Un moment. Need a moment to catch up on the bracket itself. Bam. That is our weekly schedule, but we have something which is not yet to be updated. Which the schedule is a little bit out of date here, but un momento. Let's go over the event itself. Beautiful. There it is. Okay. Exclamation mark be in the chat. Have a look at the back of yourselves. The Wikipedia page does link to eventually this this page as well. This is going to be a 900 USD tournament with the best Polish players, with the best players in all of Poland. You can see here the invited players, players that were not a part of the qualifier, but of course are the best of the best in Poland. We have Art, we have Geralt, Cristiano, and Mana. We have 4 top-tier Protosses. We have Spirit for Terran. We have Elaser for Zerg as well. And from the qualifier, we have 1 more Protoss in Bappy and 1 more Zerg in Trifax. So 2 Zergs, 1 Terran, and 5 Protoss are going to be taking part in the main event, again at 900 USD, and the winner qualifies for the Fusion Esports League Cracov 2025 main event. This is the Polish Championship, but this event here that this leads into, that this qualifies to, is a global event, an offline tournament in Krakow. Scrolling down, you can see it's going to be an 8-player event. We have 2 groups which have yet to be seeded. We have Group A and we have Group B, and we have the playoff bracket as well, with our top 4 with a 3rd place match alongside it. Best of 5s, best of 3, and best of 7. So plenty of games are ahead of us, plenty of games to come. It does look like it does look like a round robin format as well. So plenty of matches, plenty of games, plenty on the horizon. Oh, no, sorry, my apologies. Not round robin. GSL format. Let's go. So GSL format brackets instead, which is even that much more hype. Let's go, to appreciate it. And again, we have yet to confirm the seeding for the bracket itself for the tournament, but it is going to be hype nonetheless. And of course, we are going to be casting this event in English. As always, we're going to be covering this event in English. And when it comes to the offline event happening in Krakow, we're also going to be covering as many of the qualifiers as we can. I say as many just because I believe there's going to be a little bit of overlap. There's going to be a little bit of overlap between this event and between some of the qualifiers for the offline event as well, but we'll do our best to cast as much as we can. So look forward to it. Look forward to some Polish on Polish action that we're going to be featuring here on the channel in a couple of days. Just double checking here, the main event is going to be next weekend. Next weekend is going to be the Polish Championship. But of course, tomorrow we're going to be live at this time, at this hour, with the very first qualifier for the offline event. For the offline event, there we are going to be covering the qualifiers. We're going to be all over it. 2 qualifiers tomorrow. 2 qualifiers. Otherwise, when it comes to our next broadcast, when it comes to our next event here on the channel, bam, you can see it here. We just wrapped up with the morning cast of the Fusion Esports League Krakow Polish qualifier. Later on here this evening, in around 14 hours. 13. In around 13 hours time, we're going to be live with the Masters 1 Open. That is our monthly amateur tournaments for bronze to bronze to Masters players. So that's going to be featured here on the channel. Again, that's going to be in 13 hours. Meanwhile, you can see right after that, we do have the first qualifier for the offline event. That's going to be the Fusion Esports League Cracov 2025 qualifier. And the reason why I said that this graphic was out of date is that we are not casting Sparkling Tuna Cup on Sunday. We're going to be rescheduling it to Tuesday. So, unfortunately, there's going to be a little bit of overlap between Sparkling Tuna Cup and another Fusion Esports League qualifier. And we don't want to, and it's going to be a global qualifier as well, so we don't want to make players pick and choose between playing in our tournament or playing in the qualifier. So we're going to be rescheduling Tuna Cup, and we're going to be casting the Fusion Esports League qualifier instead. And again, Tuna Cup is going to be on Tuesday this week. It's going to be moved over to Tuesday instead. Still going to be this week, of course, but on a different day. Likewise, this week we also have the Water TV Monday. We have KSL. You might be looking at this and might be thinking, hold on, isn't Korean StarCraft League on Saturday? It is. But because right now it's 7 a.m. in the morning, and because we're going to be casting in the evening as well, we need some time to sleep. So unfortunately, we have decided to not cast KSL live. We'll be casting KSL via replays instead. So KSL is going to be replay cast. That's going to be on Tuesday. That's going to be before Tuna Cup. So the morning before Tuna Cup is going to be KSL. And then Tuna Cup in the evening. We have the Pegasus Cup. We have SEL Masters number 4 throughout the week as well. And of course, we have the Polish Championship over the weekend of the 11th, 12th, and 13th. 3 days of Polish Championship action. Jesus. I believe that means day 1 should be Group A, day 2 is Group B, and then day 3 the playoffs. I look forward to it. I do look forward to it. It's going to be a lot of StarCraft. And again, we're getting into more of these offline events, more of these big tournaments. Epic Land is, of course, as well in a couple of weeks, and that's all leading into the Esports World Cup at the end of the month. Oh boy, it's all coming to a head. Trifax able to call things back several times. 100%. It was crazy. But yes, with that, we're going to be wrapping up. With that, we're going to be wrapping up for the time being. Again, our next broadcast is going to be in around 13 hours time with the Masters 1 Open, and I won't be covering that. So I'm going to be adminning that event. Crew is going to be casting that instead alongside Steel Mold, most likely. Meanwhile, I'm going to be casting the Fusion Esports League first qualifier for the offline event. Again, that'll be in under 24 hours. Under 24 hours, and I should be live at around this time tomorrow, basically covering the event as well. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thank you for the support. It is almost 7 a.m. 7 a.m. here in Australia, so I'm gonna go and get some rest. I'm probably gonna stay up a little bit longer here just so I can get as much sleep as possible before MSO and wake up just before MSO. So ideally, I probably want to stay up for like another 3 or so hours. I also just had some caffeine to make sure I stayed awake. And if you notice, but I was speaking a little bit faster towards the end of that cast, and even now, I'm juiced up with some caffeine as a result. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support, and we're going to be wrapping up here for the time being, and we'll see you guys next time. Whether it's for MSO, whether it's for Fusion Esports League as well. Oh man, we just got the schedule updated with the logos as well. It's beautiful, baby. It's beautiful. It's crazy. Let's go. So bam, live update there on the schedule. It looks really good. Specifically the Fusion Esports League logo. I appreciate it. But with that, we're going to be wrapping up, and stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid who is live. I see Juggernaut Jason, I see Nina, I see Kanoya as well, Dave Testa also live. We'll find someone. I see Patches. We raided Patches yesterday, so we'll find someone else to send everyone over to. Your Kamikaze's live. Angry is live. True. Esther Angry. For now, they're going to be wrapping up. So thanks for watching. Thank you for the support, and we'll see you guys next time. Until then, ciao. Oh, right. Also, if you want to support us, ! socials in the chat. You can get a link to our socials, of course. We do upload to YouTube on a daily basis. So if you see something that you like here that you want to watch live, but if you cannot watch it yourself just because of the time slot that it's in, then check out the VODs on YouTube, because we upload on YouTube on a daily basis. Plenty of content on YouTube, more StarCraft than anywhere else, because we cast more than anyone else out there. We have all the content, we have the quantity, and we have a little bit of the quality as well. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.